Hello and welcome to another episode of Rufus Eats Cheese.
So today I thought we'd look at three cheeses that are generally all referred to as Swiss cheese, though in fact only one of them comes from Switzerland. Okay, we have here the beautiful Jarlsberg, Norwegian Jarlsberg. It's a lovely cheese, I particularly like that one. This is Emmentaler, which actually is a Swiss cheese. And this is Old Amsterdam. It's Gouda and it is obviously from the Netherlands. Lovely colour. So I think we should dive straight in and give them a try. They're all quite similar as far as texture goes. They all have that slight rubbery, softy kind of feel. Now, I actually didn't like this kind of cheese when I was younger. I think because my parents used to buy a ball of Edam wrapped in wax, and I just never really liked it very much. I don't know why, but it wasn't my cup of tea. I found it very rubbery and didn't like the flavour. Years later, I lived in the Czech Republic, and cheese was all sold packaged, and generally it was just slices in a pack. So there wasn't really too much choice because nearly all their cheeses were similar to this. So I thought, oh, well, I'll try one of them. Anyway, I tried Jarlsberg and I immediately fell in love with it. Wonderful cheese. So we're going to start with Jarlsberg. We don't have the usual implement, the knife. We are going with the slicer. So let's give it a try. We've got a few crystals, I think, forming around the edge. Again, as usual, I took these out of the fridge a couple of hours ago, so it should be fairly good. Let's give them a try. I believe the way to do all these cheeses is with nice slicing action like this. Oh, look at that beautiful ribbon of Jarlsberg. It cuts very nicely. Wow, the smell is beautiful. It's got slight acidic, lactic kind of tones to it. But there's this lovely creaminess and nuttiness and a sweetness that you can smell already. I haven't even put it in my mouth yet, so let's give it a try. It's lovely. It was absolutely lovely. So, this beautiful Norwegian cheese is aged for a minimum of 12 months. Texture is really interesting on this. Very, very fine here. And then obviously we've got the holes as well. So, as I understand it, the cheese is made, and the milk is the cheese. Once the cheese is formed, it's kept somewhere warm to start with, and then afterwards it's moved to a cold cellar. So, gosh, there's so much going on with this cheese that the idea of this kind of rubbery cheese, it doesn't really taste or anything. The Jarlsberg is the complete polar opposite. There's nuttiness, there's a lovely slight sourness to it with those lactic tones, and the flavour keeps developing. There's also a lovely sweetness as well. It's got so much going on, and you can do so many things with a cheese like this. You could shave into little bits and add it to a salad. You can cook just an astounding range of food with it. I imagine it would be incredible in a toasted sandwich. That's grilled cheese for those of you across the pond. I find it difficult though, because I love it so much as it is. I never want to really do anything with it, and I tend to just eat it on its own. It's beautiful. If you've not tasted it, you have to buy some Jarlsberg and try it. Again, it's a really easy cheese to get hold of. You should be able to get it at practically any supermarket that sells more than a couple of cheeses. They should have this. It's actually the cheeses we've done before. If you remember, the Comté had, I think, 1,000 years of documented history. This one was actually created in 1956. So, yeah, in terms of cheese heritage, it's definitely a new kid on the block. But at the same time, they've done such a good job with it. I love the look of this cheese as well. It would be very nice to see the wheels actually ripening and everything. That'd be wonderful. Now, another thing I have been told about these cheeses is that I should probably cleanse my palate with almonds. So I'm going to have a quick cheeky almond before I dive in to our next cheese, which is also not Swiss. This is the beautiful Westland Old Amsterdam. This was another kind of labour of love. The Westland family who came up with this recipe took a long time to get it bang on, because there are just so many variables. But when they got it, I think they've really nailed it. I haven't tasted this yet, but from the smell, it's beautiful. Its raison d'etre was that the chap who decided to make the cheese wanted to make cheese that was as nice as his mum used to get from the market. So that's pretty good reason, I think. I think we should dive straight in and try it. It's a very similar texture, although it's a little firmer. I think it's matured for longer, and you can see some crystal blooms in little parts here. So let's give it a try. Again, I'm going to use the shaver rather than a knife. As is customary with these. Wow, much nuttier. This is a much nuttier, much less lactic cheese. I'm not getting the tartness on the nose, and it's coming through as kind of all nuts. There's lovely sweet tones and a certain butteriness to it as well. So let's give it a try. Wow. Gosh. My cheese list is going to be so big. So despite the similarities in appearance here, with the holes and everything else, this cheese is massively different from the Jarlsberg. Wow, that was almost truffles or something. I think toffee is almost how I describe the sweetness. This one had sweet tones to it, which was very nice. I love this cheese. I've never tried this one before, but the texture is far more like cheddar. If you look, when I bend it, it kind of snaps rather than having this bend. God, I'm gonna try a bit more of that. Right. Here we go, another piece. As you can see, it's fairly mature. This rind here is, the cheese is really quite hard underneath. You can hear here, and yet here it's soft. So let's try another piece. Again, this snaps. As I said, it snaps when I bend it rather than just folding. It's got so much going on. There's a lovely saltiness to it, but it's almost salted caramel rather than just salt. With cheddar you get a very saltiness, a real salty, heavy flavour, and it has that, but it's like the salts with caramel or something. So you get the flavour of the caramel without the kind of overpowering sweetness of caramel. Oh, that is fabulous. That is absolutely wonderful. I can see why it took them a little while to get it just right, but I am so glad they did. Let's have one more piece of this, I think. I love how it cuts as well. Very lovely. It's so nutty. It's so nutty. What a magnificent cheese. Let's put that little chap back there. Wow. I don't think that was going to last very long, actually. Grab another quick almond. The concept behind the dairy that produces it is that they want to take the best of the old techniques and the best of the new techniques. So I think they pretty much nailed it. That's a fabulous cheese. Again, you think of these cheeses as all being just labelled plainly as Swiss cheese. I think nothing could be further from the truth, really. Just beautiful, beautiful. Right, our final cheese today is actual, real Swiss cheese, proper Swiss cheese from Switzerland. This is Emmentaler, and again, it looks a little more like the Jarlsberg than it does the Gouda. It's a little bit drier and firmer than the Jarlsberg. The Jarlsberg has a certain rubberiness to it. This feels much firmer. Really nice lactic notes in there. Let's give this one a try as well. A nice big slice off there, I think. The other thing I'm going to do, because this was obviously cut for me, I'm going to have a little sniff of this newly cut surface. Yeah, so this cut surface smells far more lactic than even the outside. The outside is kind of mellowed and the freshly cut surface has some real lovely lactic tones to it. So let's give this one a try. It's very lactic, very lactic. It actually tastes very young, but it's produced from unpasteurized milk. It's one of the requirements of making Emmentaler. Quite a few dairies that produce it, but they all have to obviously meet the same standards, and they're required that the cows that produce the milk are fed only natural forage. If you remember, we went through some cheeses a while ago. One of the requirements was they're not allowed compound foods. They can only have natural forage. They have grass and the various herbs and flowers that grow on the farm. This is the same. They can be fed hay in winter, but they can't be fed compound foods, and you can't put additives into the cheese. The cheese has to be essentially milk and rennet only. Okay, so let's give this one another try. I'm going to cut from the same bit. Get deeper into the cheese here. Now it feels quite dry actually to the touch. The Old Amsterdam here feels quite greasy. I think there's a lot more fat in this, I think, than the Emmental, which feels quite dry. The Jarlsberg also feels a little greasy, so let's try. It's interesting because this one starts with those lactic notes. You get the impression that it's a very young, fresh cheese, and then that changes, and you get almost the kind of richness you get from Parmesan comes through later on, and the texture changes from this kind of rubbery, kind of giving texture. This actually becomes more crumbly as it's in your mouth. Yeah, a fine cheese, that one. That's very lovely. So actual Swiss cheese. I do like it. I have to say, I think my favourite, perhaps today, has got to be the Old Amsterdam. I'm going to try another piece of that just for you guys. You're welcome. So let's give that a quick try. Oh, wow. It's a sucker punch of flavour. It just explodes right out the gate, this one. This is a lovely cheese. I highly recommend this if you can find it. I think what we need to do, I think we're going to need to melt these. Should we do that? Yeah, let's do that. Cheese on toast, or grilled cheese if you're that way inclined. Let's dive into them, I think. Yeah, they look fantastic. They smell incredible. This is another thing. We've got microphones, we've got all kinds of things that clip into the camera. I've got a light source, I've got a tripod adapter and everything. No problem at all. Smell, we still can't capture smell. Personally, that's kind of a big deal. You know, we've got all these incredible cheeses. I can describe them to you. We can talk about the textures. You can see how they react in my hand, but you can't smell that smell of grilling cheese. Okay, I'm going to dive straight in. This one here. Oh, God, that looks good. This is the Jarlsberg. This is the Jarlsberg. So I'm going to waste no time. I've got this on some rye bread. Toasted the other side before because I like both sides done. Okay, here we go. Okay. That's everything cheese on toast, grilled cheese should be. The flavours change beautifully with the grilling. Personally, I like mine to have a little bit of colour on the top. All that nuttiness has come out, and obviously with the heat, the fats have sweated out as well. Let's try this little crust here. This edge here has got a piece that's run down. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay, the next one, I love these little bits here. The next one here, this is the Emmentaler, the only actual real Swiss cheese here. Let's give it a try. Interestingly, maybe I didn't put quite so much on, which is perhaps a mistake, but it seems to have set in a different way. It looks a bit more waxy and it's a bit more translucent. So let's give that a try. Its flavour has changed a lot as well. If you remember, it had very lactic tones. It's actually giving off a lot more of its Swiss mountain heritage here. It's got those warm, nutty, earthy kind of flavours that we get from the other mountain cheeses. I better have a little bit more just to check. I'm going to take this crust bit here with the... There's a lot of sweetness still there. Wow, almost beefy flavours. That's quite incredible. That's a real transformation. If it had tasted like that before, it would still have been very nice, but the fact that it's changed so much, that's quite impressive. Right, don't worry, I will be finishing these bits. I'm just trying to get onto this lovely Old Amsterdam. I'm going to go for this corner here, I think. Here we go. Wow. Come here for a cuddle. Oh. I wasn't sure if the flavours would intensify even more, but they have. They have. They seem shorter lived, but way more intense. If you look where I've cut from, I didn't go right to the edge, but I've certainly taken from this darker section here. God, that is amazing. That's quite incredible. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take this bit, I think. Pow. It just intensifies so much. There's still some nice buttery, creamy notes coming through. you just get so much flavour so quickly. I'm quite a fan of mixing cheese. I had to do fondue, of course. Actually, I have to do a fondue for you guys. Yeah, next week. Fondue time next week. Set your alarm, Cheesy Tuesday, fondue. Okay. Yeah, the fondue, of course. 3 cheeses in there. I'm not sure if you mixed some friends in with this lovely cheese, the Old Amsterdam, if you would notice them. It would be like the two quiet friends of an extrovert at a party. So I don't think, just go and try the Emmentaler again. I don't think you would notice them. Let's try it. We know what the definitive answer is, really. I need to try it, don't I? Okay. Just for you guys, we're going to do one more thing with all 3 cheeses. The Jarlsberg, the Emmentaler, and the Old Amsterdam. Okay, we'll do this on turbo mode. Remember to hit that red subscribe button, like, share on social media, and if you've got any comments, drop them in the little comment section underneath. If there's anything you'd like me to taste, any cheeses you'd like me to eat, or if you'd like any recipes, because next week we're going to be doing the classic cheese fondue. If there's anything cheesy for Cheesy Tuesday, let me know. We'll see what we can do. Thanks very much. Bye.